SPECTRAL 2026. Set in war-torn Moldova, SPECTRAL opens with a mysterious battlefield where elite soldiers confront an unseen enemy. During a routine operation, American troops witness blue, glowing humanoid apparitions tearing through armored units effortlessly. Panic spreads as bullets pass harmlessly through the entities, leaving frozen corpses behind. DARPA engineer Mark Klein is deployed to investigate the phenomenon, bringing advanced imaging goggles capable of visualizing the threat. As Mark observes the specters directly, he realizes they behave like weapons rather than ghosts, suggesting a scientific origin hidden beneath the supernatural terror shaking soldiers' confidence and redefining modern warfare forever worldwide brutally. Mark joins a multinational special forces team led by pragmatic officer Fran Madison, who balances skepticism with urgency. Early encounters prove disastrous, pushing the military to retreat while Mark studies energy signatures left behind. He discovers the entities drain electrical power and human bioenergy, behaving like advanced autonomous systems. Using lab equipment, Mark theorizes they are stabilized by electromagnetic fields. Meanwhile, political pressure mounts as the specters spread across the city, threatening civilians and soldiers alike, forcing the team to plan a risky counteroffensive using untested experimental technology against overwhelming odds before total collapse occurs suddenly everywhere nearby fast. With upgraded goggles, the unit re-enters the city and successfully tracks the specters' movements. Mark identifies a central facility where power surges originate, suggesting coordinated control. Combat intensifies as the team uses electromagnetic weapons to disrupt the entities briefly. Fran witnesses soldiers being drained instantly, reinforcing the stakes. Mark concludes the specters are not invincible ghosts but energy constructs tied to infrastructure. This revelation transforms the mission from survival into sabotage, aiming to cut power and collapse the enemy system completely before civilians perish and the city falls into irreversible darkness, chaos, panic, fear, destruction, everywhere, endlessly, non-stop. Tonight alone. Investigating deeper, Mark uncovers the horrifying truth behind the apparitions. The specters are human energy patterns extracted from victims and weaponized through a massive reactor. This device converts people into semi-conscious energy soldiers, explaining the frozen remains. Horrified, the team realizes destroying the system may kill trapped souls, but leaving it active ensures endless casualties. Fran struggles with command responsibility while Mark races to find a humane solution. Time runs short as enemy numbers increase, and the reactor nears full capacity, threatening regional annihilation, moral collapse, global outrage, military failure, irreversible consequences, haunting everyone involved forever, silently, painfully, relentlessly. Mark devises a plan to overload the reactor using synchronized electromagnetic pulses. The team infiltrates the facility under heavy resistance, navigating collapsing corridors and relentless specter attacks. Each pulse weakens the entities, but destabilizes the structure further. Fran covers the retreat while Mark reaches the core chamber. There, he interfaces directly with the system, risking his life to shut it down. The mission becomes a race between detonation and escape, testing loyalty, courage, and sacrifice under impossible pressure from all sides, forcing humanity to confront its darkest scientific ambitions, ethics, consequences, responsibility, accountability, survival, together, now, urgently, bravely, somehow, still. Meanwhile, soldiers outside hold defensive lines against overwhelming waves. Experimental weapons buy seconds, not victories, as casualties mount rapidly. Fran orders a final extraction countdown, refusing to abandon Mark. Inside the core, Mark realizes the system feeds on continuous power, meaning a complete blackout could end everything. He triggers a city-wide shutdown, plunging the battlefield into darkness. The specters begin to destabilize, flickering violently. Hope rises as science finally overcomes fear, though the cost remains uncertain for humanity, soldiers, victims, families, nations, future wars, unchecked technology, ethical boundaries, leadership, unity, survival, accountability, trust, bravery, loss, memory, consequences, tomorrow, worldwide, forever. Powerless, the specters collapse into fading energy, releasing trapped human patterns. The reactor overloads, and Mark narrowly escapes as the facility implodes. Fran and the surviving soldiers extract moments before destruction consumes the site. Silence follows the chaos, broken only by emergency lights flickering back on. The battlefield is littered with wreckage, but free of apparitions. The victory feels hollow, marked by heavy losses and haunting knowledge of what humanity nearly became through unchecked innovation driven by fear, ambition, war, secrecy, power, control, arrogance, negligence, ignorance, hubris, sacrifice, suffering, regret, reflection, mourning, accountability, lessons learned slowly, painfully, together, again, forward. In the aftermath, global authorities move quickly to suppress knowledge of the technology. Mark gives testimony, condemning the weaponization of human energy. Fran supports him, advocating for stricter oversight and ethical science. The team mourns fallen comrades while civilians return to ruined streets. Though the threat is gone, the moral implications linger heavily. Spectral reframes warfare as a warning, showing how innovation without restraint transforms people into resources and battlefields into laboratories for horror, where humanity risks losing empathy, dignity, identity, compassion, responsibility, control, wisdom, foresight, humility, balance, peace, restraint, ethics, conscience, memory, truth, justice, accountability, forever, worldwide, again, someday. The film blends hard science fiction with military action, grounding its spectacle in plausible theory. Advanced visuals depict energy physics as both beautiful and terrifying. Characters remain focused, professional, and human amid chaos, emphasizing realism. Mark evolves from detached engineer to morally driven hero, while Fran embodies leadership under pressure. Together, they represent science and command in uneasy alliance. Spectral avoids simple heroics, instead highlighting consequences, responsibility, and the thin line between defense and atrocity in modern conflict, where progress outpaces ethics, fear accelerates violence, secrecy breeds abuse, power corrupts, intentions fail, systems dehumanize, lives, rapidly, brutally, repeatedly, endlessly, today. Spectral concludes as a cautionary tale for future warfare and technology. Victory is achieved not through superior firepower, but understanding and restraint. The unseen enemy is ultimately human ambition unchecked by ethics. As Mark and Fran depart, the world resumes uneasy normalcy, forever changed by hidden truths. The film leaves audiences questioning how far science should go when survival is at stake. In silence, the fading lights remind us that some weapons should never exist, especially those built from people, pain, fear, loss, exploitation, secrecy, ambition, power, control, profit, dominance, cruelty, hubris, disregard, conscience, humanity, empathy, morality, balance, peace, ever.